Have you ever thought about what really happens when an ego runs out of things to say? What happens when you finally get away from them? What happens when you stop giving them care, approval, and control all the time? A lot of people think that narcissists just don't care and move on to the next person they want to hurt. They look so sure of themselves and aloof, like nothing could ever shake them. But the truth is much worse and more shocking. For narcissists, losing supply isn't just a small bother, it's their worst fear come true. It shakes them to their core and breaks down their carefully constructed world in interesting ways. Narcissists depend on supply like a fire needs air to keep going. They start to die, fear, and spiral without it. On the outside, they might act like your leaving doesn't bother them, but deep down, they're going through a full-on crisis. The loss of supply hurts them emotionally, but it also hurts their sense of who they are. When someone can't control you or trick you into giving them what they want, they are left with nothing but their own hunger. And they can't deal with that. If you've ever been with a narcissist and been caught, you know how much they need someone to control other people. Their whole sense of self is based on power, dominance, and getting other people to feel something. They need food to stay alive, not just want it. What happens, though, when that source is cut off all of a sudden? What do they do when the person they feed, drained, and used for their own gain finally chooses to leave? That's when things really get crazy. First, they might be shocked and confused. Narcissists never think they will lose control of their source. They think you'll always be stuck in their web of manipulation because they spent so much time making it. It makes them feel less important when you leave. They may try to get you to agree with them again by saying nice things, pretending to be sorry, or making empty promises to change. If you don't fall for it, though, they quickly change how they act. Their neediness turns into anger, and their irritation into rage. Soon, they're acting out in ways you never thought possible. Because of this, it's very important to know what goes on behind the scenes when an ego runs out of supply. You might not understand how they reacted. They could act like they don't care 1 minute and totally crazy the next. But don't get it wrong, everything they do comes from fear. The worry that power will go out. The fear of not being important. The fear of being seen for what they really are. Stay with me until the end of this movie if you've ever had trouble getting away from a narcissist or are curious about what they think when they lose you. We are about to talk about the upsetting things they do when they realize they no longer have any supplies. They don't want you to see it, trust me. Please like, follow, and share this video with anyone who needs to hear it if you found it useful. Let's start. For narcissists, the moment they realize they've run out of something, they go completely crazy. They're in a real problem because of this. It's not just a small setback. Not only do narcissists like being in charge, they need it to feel safe. It makes them feel exposed, weak, and helpless without it. Their whole sense of self is based on how other people notice, admire, and respond to them. When you take yourself away from them and don't play along with their games, it's like you've cut them off from air. They are left gasping for emotional air and fighting to keep up the false sense of power they've worked so hard to create. Which part scared them the most? They are suddenly hit with the hard truth that they are not as strong or unbeatable as they thought. First, this intense feeling of fear takes over them. Their daily dose of approval and attention from you is gone, and they don't know how to live without it. They are having a mental breakdown because they are afraid of losing you as an emotional source. They are thinking quickly about what they can do to get back in charge. They can't stop thinking about what went wrong, but not in a way that helps them think about themselves. Instead, it makes them want to fix the problem in their own favor even more. But they're not thinking about how to change or improve. All they can think about is how to get you back so they can feel in charge again. As the fear gets worse, people start to feel desperate. The narcissist can't stand the thought of not being able to control you. Being around you gave them emotional power, and now that you're gone, they feel weak, drained, and helpless. Anyone will do anything to get you to fall back into their trap. First, they might be gentle, sending you a lot of messages, calling you over and over, or even just showing up out of the blue to let you know they're still there. They might suddenly feel bad about what they did and promise through tears that they've changed or that this time things will be different. Don't let that fool you, though. It's not love or real sorrow. That's just another way they try to get you back into their control loop. They change their plan if the fake apologies and forced kindness don't work. This is where love bombing comes in. They act like they've had an insight overnight and become the perfect version of themselves, giving you lots of love, attention, and gifts. They will do everything right, say everything right, and act in ways that make you question your choice to leave. That being said, this is just a trick. Narcissists don't change. When they feel like they're losing power, they just change how they act. Their goal isn't to fix the relationship or become a better person. It's to get you back under their control so they can keep using your feelings against you. However, what happens when none of these tricks work? As soon as they know you're not falling for their tricks, not answering their messages, and not getting involved with their drama, they become very angry and scary at that point. The hopelessness they were feeling quickly turns into rage, which is much worse. One of the most dangerous and unpredictable people to deal with is a hurt narcissist. Their sense of self-worth is weak, and they can't stand being turned down. They put all of their anger and blame on you instead of looking at themselves and taking responsibility for what they did. Their crazy world says that they are never the problem, it's always someone else's fault. Additionally, since you left, you are now their main goal. There are many ways that their anger could show up. Some narcissists will attack you verbally, send you mean texts, or even try to start a fight with you just to see what happens. Some people may try to hurt your image in a more sneaky way, working behind the scenes. They could say bad things about you, change the facts, or even act like the victim to get people to dislike you. Their only goal is to hurt you because you were brave enough to leave them. They will try to change how other people see you if they can't control you directly. When a narcissist loses their supply, they lose more than just a person. They lose their sense of superiority, their fantasy of control, and the power to control someone who used to give them everything they wanted. They will never really get over that loss. As their world starts to fall apart, the narcissist starts to destroy themselves completely. They lived for a long time off of the constant praise, attention, and power they had over other people. Not only did they enjoy this source, it was also what kept them going. They can't hold themselves together without it. The carefully made mask they wore, the one that made them look charming, sure of themselves, and in charge, starts to break. Their true, shaky nature starts to show, and they can't keep up the act anymore because they don't have the energy or skills to do so. During this time, they may act in a way that doesn't match the fake image they worked so hard to create, making hasty and careless choices that don't make any sense. At this point, they may start acting in a crazy way that hurts themselves. When it comes to money, they might start to act in a desperate way, spend carelessly, or make bad choices that cost them a lot of money. They might lash out at people around them, turning off even people who used to back them. They might hurt friendships, lose their jobs, or ruin business relationships because they can't handle how frustrating it is to lose control. As a last option, they sometimes do things that are illegal or morally questionable just to feel powerful again. The narcissist used to be proud of not being able to be touched. Now their weaknesses are on full show. They worked hard for years to hide their flaws, but now that they're desperate, the mask falls off. People then start to see them for what they really are: manipulative, afraid, and mentally unstable. But when a narcissist loses their supply, it's not their reckless behavior that scares people the most. It's the deep, overwhelming sadness they feel. Narcissists need validation from others to feel like they matter, while mentally healthy people have a sense of self-worth that comes from within. They have nothing if they don't have steady praise, admiration, or power over other people. And they can't stand that nothingness. This feeling of emptiness can lead to a full-on mental breakdown. Narcissists don't deal with their feelings like normal people do, so when they have to face themselves without any distractions, they lose their mind and become very dark and crazy. Some people get very sad and lose interest in everything because they feel like their life has no point. Some people get very anxious because they can't handle the fact that people no longer fear or worship them. They might go through a lot of different feelings in a short amount of time, like anger, anxiety, sadness, and bitterness. This inner breakdown can also make people do bad things. Some people abuse drugs or engage in risky escapes, doing anything to dull the pain of their deepest sadness. Others become obsessed and can't stop thinking about the people they've abused in the past or are desperately looking for someone new to control. If they quickly find a new source, they might act like nothing happened and look fine for a while. If they fail, though, if they can't find someone to fill the mental void, they go down a path that they can't handle. Some people, like narcissists, find it very bad to be alone with their thoughts, feelings, and true selves. They can't stand being thrown away, forgotten, or ignored. They start to fall apart from the inside out when no one feeds their ego. On the other side, on your side, something amazing is going on. Your body starts to heal as you get away from the narcissist and stop letting them control you. You may still feel the emotional weight of the connection, the confusion, or even the guilt at first. But the farther away you go, the more your mind clears. You can start to see things for what they really were as the mental fog they added starts to lift. You truly understand how much effort and selflessness you put into them in order to make them happy. That's when you'll really feel free. The farther away you get, the more you realize that the relationship was never about love or bond. It was all about power. That person was only interested in what you could do for them. They never liked you for who you were. And once you really understand them, once you can see them clearly, they can't trick you anymore. They can't make you question yourself, feel bad about yourself, or fall back into their cycle anymore. Being clear about that is what frees you from their control for good. When a narcissist runs out of things to say, the best thing you can do is to be completely quiet. When they try to get you to join them, don't give in. Do not play with them, listen to their cries, or get angry with them. Do not let their hunger draw you back into their chaos. If you want to beat a narcissist, you have to refuse to play their game at all. Let them know what happens when they do bad things. Allow them to face the truth of their own emptiness. 'Cause being unimportant is worse for a narcissist than getting payback. They are most scared when they realize they can't control you anymore and that what they say and do doesn't matter. Once they know they can't control you anymore and that you have moved on without them, they will become forgotten, which is what they fear the most. If you're still reading, know that leaving a psychopath is one of the strongest and most life-changing ideas you can have. It takes a lot of guts to leave someone who has been influencing and manipulating you for a long time. It's not easy. You have to be strong, patient, and really care about your own health. That being said, it is worth it no matter how hard it feels at the time. When you let go, you gain freedom, clarity, and happiness. These are all much more valuable than the pain you feel at first. You deserve more than to spend your whole life trying to make someone happy who will never be happy. You deserve to be able to live your life the way you want to without having to walk on eggshells or constantly second-guess yourself. You should be free, get better, and start over in a way that shows how much you're worth. And you get your power back when you stop letting the narcissist control your feelings and start making your own decisions about your happiness. Now I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever seen a narcissist fall apart totally when they ran out of things to say? Have you seen for yourself what they do when they can't use, control, or feed off of someone's energy anymore? What were your thoughts on the matter? Each story is unique, and your point of view could help someone else who is still trying to get away. Don't be shy, share your ideas in the comments. Let us make a place where people can help each other and learn from each other. If this video spoke to you or this message helped you, please like, follow, and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. You never know who might need to be reminded that they are on the right path. Your participation helps get the word out, and together we can help more people see how valuable they are and break out of bad loops. Till then, stay strong, aware, and know that your freedom is your most powerful weapon. You've already won when you choose to be in charge of yourself instead of them. Do not stop. You deserve it.